Why are my hands coming up so stiff? I'm like, hello, how are you guys doing? It has been a minute since I have sat in front of this camera. It has been a crazy week. Oh my gosh, but it's just getting crazier. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you guys. Talk through, get ready with me. It might turn into a chit chat video, who knows. I saw this beautiful girl on the popular page. Is that what it's called? I think it's like the explore page now. It'll always be the popular page to me. I screenshotted it because I was so inspired by this picture. Her name is Amanda Selena. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, yes, screenshot. It just inspired me to play with like golden highlights and purples and oranges and corals and bronzy skin. I just love it. She's so beautiful, and this image just made me like, it's just so yummy and luxurious. So I'm going to kind of play off of those colors today and do something inspired by that. So thank you to Amanda Selena for inspiring this look today. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in and stop rambling. First things first, I'm gonna prime my skin. Oh, do you guys like my new background? You know. I'm using the Marc Jacobs, is this the Undercover? Yes, Invisible Undercover Perfecting Coconut Primer, so bougie. I'm gonna take a dribble of that and go ahead and massage it into my skin. I love this primer just because it's so moisturizing. That's my favorite thing about it. I mean, I don't really know if it makes your foundation last all day long. I've mentioned that before about this primer. I just love that it just makes my skin feel so moisturized, and it gives my foundation something to like hold on to. Then what I'm gonna do, because recently I've been battling some texture, and yes, it has been a battle. It's been like me against my texture. I'm gonna use the Make It Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. This is my favorite primer for smoothing out the skin. I know there are like thousands of primers out there for smoothing, but this one is my favorite. I take it on my fingertips and I go directly like in my problem areas, which is around my nose. A lot of people have large pores around their nose. It is not just you, it is most of the world, male and female. This issue is always problematic. I'm just gonna bring it up on my cheeks because that's where all of my issues are right now. I don't know what it is, if it's my diet, but my diet hasn't changed. I think it's stress though, because everyone's been telling me that can be a really big cause of like breakouts and bumps and texture, and I have been really crazy stressed the past month or so. So it could be that, because my diet is still the same. Doritos and donuts all day, baby. I mean, that couldn't be the cause of breakouts, right? Because that's like super healthy. I'm gonna be trying a bunch of new products. Well, I don't know if I would say a bunch, but I'm gonna be trying some new products today because I feel like I always just get stuck in these ruts where I do the same stuff over and over with the same brushes and the exact same eyeshadows and same everything. So today, I'm gonna be using new stuff. And I got this new Artiste brush sent to me. It's the Elite Collection Mirror Finish Palm Brush. So like you hold it in your palm like this and you apply your foundation, and I have not used it yet, so we'll see how it goes. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the Make It Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I'm gonna do a stripe on each cheek, chin, and forehead, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finally be using the Loreal, did I say Loreal? Infallible Pro Glow 24-Hour Wear Foundation. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start buffing this in. Ooh, la la, oh my god, this brush is so beast mode. My word. Like, oh my god, this is like so big. That's what she said. This brush like just is so huge. It can do like your entire face at one time. I mean, it definitely applied my foundation very evenly, very smooth, and natural looking coverage, that's for sure. But we don't like natural. I want more. I honestly don't know if I love this brush. I definitely feel like it made my foundation look matte, which is kind of strange that a brush can do that. It definitely gets the job done very, very quick though, but it was a little uncomfortable to hold in my hand. So that's my first impression of that. I do like just the regular Artiste brushes, the ones that look like toothbrushes, better than that one. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using the new Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to be mixing two shades. I'm going to be mixing light and medium, because medium is just a little bit too dark, and light is just a little bit too light. This concealer is very full coverage. I have used it twice. This is my third time using it right now. I'm gonna also put a little bit down here just for additional coverage in these areas. I always need it because these are the areas that my foundation just likes to disappear for absolutely no reason throughout the day. And I'm like, oh, where'd you go? I'm just grabbing a damp beauty sponge and pressing all of this into the skin. All right, so now that I have pounced all of that in, you can see how much more coverage it has given my overall face, because these are so full coverage and very creamy. But again, they don't really crease at all on me, which is awesome. So this is my third time using that concealer, and it's already at the top of my list, which is like crazy because I'm really hard to impress. I feel like I'm the pickiest on concealer more than anything else in cosmetics. All right, I'm gonna pick up cream bronzer. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel, my favorite cream bronzer of all time. And I'm just going to take a beauty blender and apply it with that. And just literally go right in there like this and just pick it up and then begin just to pounce it on my skin, kind of on the whole outer part of my face, just for an overall bronzed look. But I'm going to avoid this area down here because that will widen my face and not give me any dimension. And as you can see, I am pouncing the bronzer. I'm not rubbing. If I were to go like this, it would basically just remove the foundation, remove the product and concealer. So you just want to go up and down in pouncing motions. And the more you do this, the more it will kind of dry into place and not move. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab some translucent powder. My favorite one of all time is the RCMA no color translucent powder because it is not as drying as the others. I'm going to go back in with a damp blender. Just so you know, I have two of them. So I used one for my bronzer and one for my concealer. And the one that I used for my concealer, I'm now gonna dip that into this powder and set my under eyes. It is still very damp. It is the best trick in the book. I know I've talked about it so many times, but literally I will take my very damp sponge and dip it directly in there and then just start pressing it on the under eye. The first time I did this, I just felt so backward because we've always been taught that like creams and powders don't mix, wetness and powder doesn't mix. So going in with a damp beauty sponge to set my under eye with a powder, I was like, like I just didn't trust it. I was so nervous, but honestly, it gives the most just airbrushed, flat finish to the under eye. When I say flat, I mean like not crepey and not like drying in texture. It just makes it look flat and airbrushed. Okay, so now that I have set my under eye and my T-zone, I'm now going to set kind of just like the rest of my face so that nothing moves. As you can tell, this is one of my favorite powders. It's almost gone. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder Foundation. I'm not doing this for any additional coverage. I'm just doing this so that everything stays in place. And I don't know why, I just don't like setting my entire face with translucent powder. I just like setting those specific areas, and then the rest of it, I just lightly dust it with this powder. And I will go over the bronzer just a little bit, not much, but just a little to kind of blend it in with the rest of the face. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I have not even used this yet. I'm not kidding. I was so excited about this. I was posting about it on Twitter. I was talking about it on Snapchat. Haven't even used it yet, you guys. That's what my life has come to. It's literally dirty because it looks like I've used it because I've touched it so many times, I've swatched it a million times, but I've never actually used it on my eyes. Ugh, sick and wrong, sick and wrong. I'm going to first go in with this burnt orange shade right here and a natural hair fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M441. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. Ooh, I'm going to just put this in my crease because I want to have like a really, oh yes honey, I want to have a really warm, I want my eyes basically to look like a sunset. I want to have like a warm, orangey, reddish, creamsicle looking crease with purple smoky shadow going like up into the warmth. Yes, I have a vision. I feel like I don't do makeup as well when I do talk throughs. Like I feel like I do a better job when I just do them and then do voiceovers, because when I'm doing talk throughs, I'm like focused on what I'm saying. I'm not as focused on what I'm doing. All right, now I'm gonna pick up some Raw Sienna, that shade right next to it. It's very similar, but just has like a little bit more of like a baby pukey undertone, which I am all about that life. I'm gonna put that right over top. I'm just using this shade to kind of blend out that burnt orange so that we have what? No harsh lines. I'm gonna go in with Realgar. I can't pronounce anything. I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush for a little bit more precision and put that again right over the same colors in the crease. Bring it all the way into that inner corner. Now I'm gonna pick up a small angled brush. I showed you guys this tip in my last video. This is the Morphe E47. I'm gonna take some translucent powder right out of the cap, the same one I use on my under eye, and I'm going to just put this right here to help clean up this shape that I want so I don't have any eyeshadow falling down and making this messy and sloppy, and then in the end I'll have like too much shadow all around my eye area. And now that I have that there, I'm just going to take the brush with a little bit of that raw sienna left over on it, just kind of feather it out. You can literally like go over the translucent powder and then just reapply it and it'll work just the same. Okay, now I'm gonna find a dark purple. There's not really a shade in the Modern Renaissance palette that I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a dark matte purple, so let me look through my palettes. All right, this color is perfect. I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona palette and I'm going to grab this dark matte purple right here. This is exactly what I was looking for. I'm actually gonna take this translucent powder and set my entire under eye and just bake that right there very intensely because I'm gonna go in with this dark matte shade and I don't trust it. It's probably gonna have major fallout, so I just wanna make sure that my under eye is covered in case it does have fallout. I'm just grabbing a pencil brush and just getting my brush real nice and soaked, but then making sure to tap off the excess so that we don't have tons of unnecessary fallout. I'm just gonna pack this on. Gosh, it's so hard to find a pigmented purple that just applies evenly. Purple and red shadows are the hardest shadows to develop. And I swear, it is so hard to find a pigmented purple. And like this one is definitely one of the best, but even still, like it's not as pigmented as the other shades in the palette. Once I have that like kind of a thick line right there, I'm just gonna take the brush and just kind of like go over all of it and just flicking motions to just blend it out into those warm colors. Kind of like an ombre effect because we don't want any harsh distinction between the purple and the warms. We just want it to fade up very gradually. I'm going to grab the Violet Voss times Loreal palette. Is this not Boss? I'm gonna grab this Ragamuffin shade right here on a fluffy brush and just go over this upper lid area because I just want to keep that on the orangey side. I don't want my overall vibe to be purple. I want it to be like purple faded into orange. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run over that a couple times. Do you see all that purple fallout under there? If we did not bake, my entire under eye would be covered in purple eyeshadow. Thank God. And then you can literally just wipe it away. It's like magic. All right, I'm gonna fill in my brows really quick using the Anastasia Brow Definer and I will be right back. All right, brows are done. They're definitely a little bit bolder than I wanted them to be, but it happens. Moving on. I'm going to highlight my brow bone. I'm gonna be using the Ofra Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Beverly Hills. It's super cool. It's like a wheel of highlight and you can use like shades individually or you can mix it all together and use it as one. When I highlight my cheeks, I mix all of them together and highlight like I showed on Snapchat. But for my brow bone, I'm just gonna be using one shade. I'm gonna use this one right here. I have hit pan as you can see because I love it so much. They are very pigmented and very easy to apply. So I'm just gonna hit, I mean, like, look at the pigment. It's no joke. I'm gonna just hit my brow bone with this nice and soft. I don't want it to be too heavy or like in your face, but just a nice soft highlight in the brow bone. Into the Modern Renaissance palette again, and I'm going to grab eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. Now I'm gonna grab the burnt orangey red shade, Real Gar, I think it's called. I just really suck with cosmetic names, I swear. I'm gonna just put that right over top of it. I'm gonna grab that dark purple shade from the Natasha Denona palette on a flat definer brush and just put that really, really tight to my lower lashes on the outer corner especially. All right, I'm gonna pick up a white eyeliner. This is like literally white, not cream, but white. And this is Fascinating Eye Kohl by MAC. I'm gonna line my lower waterline with this. I'm gonna grab the Violet Voss Loreal palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade Hissy Fit right here, which is just a nice pretty gold, on a small definer brush. I'm actually gonna put that in my lower lash line towards the inner corner, because I just want like a little pop of gold under here. Then I'm gonna go back with the Beverly Hills highlighter from Ofra. I'm gonna pick up that exact same shade that I use on my brow bone. I'm going to just pop it right there on the inner corner of the eye for that inner corner highlight. Oh, pigment! All right, so I'm going to throw on some false lashes, but first I'm gonna coat my lashes with some mascara, just real quick. All right, for this look, I'm going to go in with some Slayla lashes by Flutter because I feel like it's only appropriate. Hello! These are some of my favorite lashes ever. They are very dramatic. So if you love the drama, then I would highly recommend Slayla lashes. They are beautiful, and more than anything, they are the most comfortable lashes I've ever worn. Like, I can wear these all day long, like 12 plus hours, and forget that they're on. I don't feel like I get eager to rip them off like I do with other lashes. They're just so comfortable. Okay, while I'm waiting for my lash glue to dry and get tacky, I'm going to bronze my face. I'm gonna use MAC Give Me Sun. Even though I already used the Chanel Cream Bronzer, I'm just gonna go over everything lightly with this, just for some additional bronziness, because I definitely want to have a overall glowing, bronzy glow. So I'm just gonna go over top of that. This is not necessary though. The cream bronzer on its own is definitely more than enough, but you know me. Gotta be extra. All right, let's get these Slaylas on. Yes, honey! All right, so now I'm going to coat my lower lashes with some mascara real quick. All right, done with that. I'm going to grab some translucent powder and just dust it under here to clean up this area a little bit so that it doesn't look, I don't know, sloppy. I feel like sometimes it just looks kind of messy down here, and I don't like that. I'm going to grab the Benefit Cheekathon palette, so beast mode, and I'm going to be using Coralista right here. All right, so now for highlight, I'm going to grab some Prosecco Pop because I definitely want like that golden highlight as opposed to like a more white or silverish or champagne. I'm grabbing the Becca Cosmetics Split Pan featuring Prosecco Pop and Amaretto. Hi! Oh, that texture right there, not cute. The tip of my nose, hello, highlight. I'm gonna be taking a NARS lip liner in the shade Playa Dorado, and I'm going to line my entire lips with this. It's like a really intense orangey shade. All right, so just to make that smooth, since it is lip liner and it can kind of chunk up easily, I'm going to grab a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Hot Emily, I believe it's called. My vision is not the best recently, so I can't really see everything perfectly, but I'm gonna just run over that. All right, you guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope that you enjoy. I apologize for my hair, but honestly, it's at that point where I'm getting it done in 2 days and it needs a cut so bad that it doesn't matter what I do. It just looks like a dead animal is hanging on my head. So I'm not even trying right now. Like, I'm over it until Tuesday. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoy the look and spending some time together. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much and thanks for watching. Mwah! Bye.